Have you ever completely gotten lost in a video game and thought, why the hell can't I have this level of dedication and fun in my real life? Because meanwhile, building habits and reaching your goals and doing what it takes to succeed actually could make you more money, but it feels like a constant struggle and an uphill battle to tick another thing off the to do list. It's weird, right? You can focus for like 6 hours straight, some people 16, in a game, but in real life, you open up your laptop and you suddenly need a snack, you need a nap, you need a new career path, or if you're like me, you see a shiny object and have a compulsion to do every single thing or buy everything online and do anything other than what you're supposed to be doing. Here's the thing, you're not alone. And it's not your fault. It's just that no one ever taught you how to gamify your life in a way that's actually fun and that's addictive and that actually gets results. You can tap into that flow state that professional athletes, spiritual masters, and culture shifting artists quite literally swear by as the secret to their success. And it doesn't need to be hard or boring or tedious or lame. If you can master life as a game, you can literally tap in to a simulation of infinite possibilities around you. Because when life feels like a game that you want to actually play, you stop procrastinating, you stop doubting, you want to wake up in the morning and get right into it. So, in this video, I'm going to lay out in painfully simple terms exactly how to gamify your life and why maybe in the past you failed to level up, even if you've tried literally everything. And believe me, I was the same. And I'll even give you my entire system that I use to fully gamify my life. So you can collect rewards and dollars for the hard work you're doing. And more on that in a minute. But first, let's turn your life from hard mode to easy mode so that you can finally feel the same level of flow and fun and dedication to your actual real life right now as you do inside a video game or any other thing you use to distract yourself from your reality. So let me ask you, why do you think that video games are so damn addictive? Like, why is it overcoming obstacles in a game is super fun, but in real life, it's literally the worst part and the thing we all dread, right? But think about it. In a video game, you get to choose your character. You get to pick your strengths and your skills and your superpowers. You get to collect cool points, hear the sounds, make more money, get the dopamine hits, and you get to unlock new layers and new levels and new tools, explore new realms. And listen, if you get stuck in a video game, if you lose the level, if you get totally defeated, you just press the restart button, right? You use what you learned to beat the level next time, or the time after that, or the time after that. And that's sometimes the most addictive part. But here's the thing, isn't life kind of the same thing? But the problem is we take life so damn seriously, and we take ourselves so damn seriously, and we take everything so personally. We think we're stuck in life playing the same character that we've always been, right? We're born a certain way, and that's where we're always going to be. So instead of upgrading our character, we spiral and think that, we fail a few times and we assume our character sucks. Like maybe we got a defective game, you know? Meanwhile, the Jordans and the Musks and the Winfreys of the world, they got the secret memo. They understand that we're in some sort of simulation and that life can be gamified. They don't give up when they fail. They learned their character. They mapped out the levels. They got clear on their direction. And no matter what, they kept playing. And meanwhile, your character might be sitting on a rock somewhere, wondering why they're not progressing into the level. And just imagine for 1 second in a video game, choosing a character who assumes they're going to fail, who wanders around confused, who barely has any superpowers, who doesn't know the mission, and whines the whole time. Would you choose that character? No one would want that, right? But that's often how we all live our own life. So, how do you rig the game of life? How do you make it fun? How do you make it addictive? And dare I say, how do you actually make it enjoyable and make yourself a character you want to play? Because let's be real, if life were as predictable and rewarding as a game, we wouldn't be consistently trying to escape it. If we had that constant dopamine hit, if we had the constant rewards, we wouldn't be trying to escape the reality we're living. And we've all heard the cliche, set the goals, do the work, visualize your success, close your eyes and manifest and boom, right? Like you're going to have $1 billion just fall from the sky. So we try, we do the work, we put in the hours, we force ourselves through the annoying tasks and the mundane things that we need to do in order to achieve our goals. And for what, right? Like half the time, it still doesn't work. And I don't know about you, but I've got an ADHD brain. Okay. Like, none of that sounds like a shiny, sparkly, shiny object to me, right? It doesn't sound motivating. It doesn't feel enticing. And it doesn't sound like anything I'm going to want to commit to more than 5 minutes, let alone the rest of my life, right? Let's just say it. Having radical success is a lot of effing work, right? You don't get to level up without logging in and playing daily. Even the people who are overnight successes, that was just the day you actually took notice, right? But you didn't see the decades of behind the scenes of them learning the levels, of them, mastering the game and learning their character strengths, right? And the ones who do blow up overnight with no foundation, they usually can't sustain it, right? Because they didn't do the foundational work. They end up back at square one or worse. So if you want the kind of skills, vision, and consistency that makes people start paying you real money and have you getting real results, if you want to start to climb the upper levels of society, if that's your thing, or just have a better life, you got to put in the hours. You got to put down the video game. You got to put down the addictions and you got to turn that focus inwards. But here's the twist. What if you took all of the hours that you spent playing games, escaping your reality, scrolling, binging, doing any unhealthy behavior, and you channeled them into pure drive and focus into your actual life, into your actual goals, and into your actual character? I think you'd know that you would literally become unstoppable. You would become the character in the game that everyone, including you, would choose to play. So let's break down what makes video games so addictive and how to apply it in your own life starting today. So let's get into it. I'm just interrupting this video for a super duper Ashley Cooper quick second to offer you something that's never going to cost you a penny and that will literally transform your life. Why? Because I created Made for Millions, the very first ever 100% brand funded educational platform for entrepreneurs. That means that you can get 100% free entrepreneurial education, zero fluff, zero BS, zero gatekeeping, zero payment ever, 100% for free. Our goal is to help 1 million heart-centered, impact-driven entrepreneurs hit the seven-figure mark by 2030. And so if this is you, all you need to do is click the link below that says Made for Millions. You're going to get access to a host and an epic amount of free training, as well as an incredible community that's already racking up to the thousands. So with that being said, let's get back into your regular scheduled programming. So I've broken everything down into my 9 C's of gamification to make it super crystal clear. I include the core ingredients that make games completely irresistible and how to use each and every one to level up in your real life starting today. So number 1 is clarity, right? Know the game you're in. In a video game, you always know the mission. The map is super clear. The steps are all laid out. You know exactly what to do and where to go. And if not, you figure it out. There's not much guessing, and that reduces the overwhelm. You just kind of go, right? But in life, it's chaos. You wake up and you open 100 tabs in your brain and on your desktop, if you're me, and you're not even sure what game you're playing, let alone how to win it and what you're doing that very day, right? And if you do know, you don't stick to it. No wonder we freeze or avoid or feel like we're falling behind. So if you want to master clarity in your own life, split your life into zones like health, money, creativity, relationships. I have this all broken down for you in a free download below. And you give each one a mission. And then you ask what actually counts as progress here, right? You want to define it clearly, and suddenly you have direction. That's what I've done with my system that you can get 100% free. Every single area of my life has zones, outcomes, and visual progress. So I always know where I'm going, I always know what I'm doing, and I always know what's next. No more spinning in circles. I've got a map and I'm moving forward. Number two is certainty. You want to build predictable progress. In games, there's no mystery, right? Do X, you get Y. You beat the level, you earn the reward. You always know what to expect. It's safe because the game is being tested, not you personally. But in real life, it's wild, wild west out there, right? You could literally do everything right and still not see results for weeks and weeks and weeks and even months, right? Or maybe even sometimes ever. That's why this completely messes with your head. So here's how I flip the script. I assign XP to literally everything. One pitch equals $100 and I monetize it because I find it fun to make, even if it's fictitious money, I make money, right? One video is another $100. So now my brain trusts that the effort is going to add up even when the results are slow. And for me, the more I take action, the more money I'm going to make. So I'm not spiraling, I'm stacking, and I get that dopamine hit when I see the reward because I've actually built the system that way. So number three, it's radical, but celebrate. Create dopamine on demand. That's what games do. They hype you up for everything, right? You do very little and you get a new level. Ding. You win a coin. Ding. You get a sparkle. Ding. It's like dopamine, dopamine, dopamine. It's like a huge dopamine rave. But in life, you crush something big and you just kind of move on, right? Like no confetti, no soundtrack, no nothing. We don't even celebrate our small successes. So I changed that. I started tracking my wins, even what I considered the small ones, right? I started building in rewards. And like I said, in my system, I actually have it tracked as money. So I can make as much as $1,500 a day. And even on a rest day, I give myself rewards. So sometimes it's just, a gold star, if that's what you want. Point is, your brain needs to feel the win. Otherwise, it forgets why you're even playing the game. And four is the character. Become who you want to be in a game. In a game, you're picking your avatar. You're picking your strengths. So choose your character. Don't choose the person who's insecure or overwhelmed, Choose to evolve, choose to be a hero, choose your strengths and forge them. Because in life, we forget to do that. We forget that we can choose our character every single day. And we think that we're this fixed character and we're stuck in this reality, but it couldn't be further from the truth. As a 45-year-old woman, I'm literally not even the same person as I was last month. So choose to be the character you want to be. Figure out how you want to play the game of life and be that person. Create your own avatar. Level yourself up. I assign my character habits and how she wants to grow, and I track her progress, i.e. mine. So this makes me want to keep showing up. So make sure you choose the character you want to play and don't succumb to who you think you are. So number five is calibration. Games create like a tight feedback loop. In games, you adjust, you try again, right? And you get instant feedback. You get a reward. You learn from the loss. But in real life, feedback can be slow. It can be vague. It can be sometimes non-existent, or we just focus on the negative. So what do? We spin, we spiral, or at least I do, right? And so I like to treat things like a beta test, right? Like what worked, what didn't, what needs adjusting, and how can my character level up? I tweak quests, I move towards the next goal, and I learn in real time. And that's what keeps me energized and not stuck. So, how can you apply that in your own life? How can you learn and use it as feedback, not failure? So, number six is competition. In games, you use friendly pressure, right? Like even solo games, you're trying to beat your last score. There's always a leaderboard, and even if it's just on your own. But in real life, it's harder, right? It's harder to know what to measure. And you kind of feel like you're lifing alone, even if you've got people around you. I create like a me versus me scenario. I track my streaks. I try to beat my own records, or sometimes I even engage friends and like, oh, hey, like maybe we're going to work out every day for 30 days or in a new challenge where we're engaging each other and we're playing the game of life together. That can be super fun. So find a way to engage other people, to create some healthy competition, either with yourself or others, so that you can feel more engaged in your actual reality. I feel like oftentimes in life, we feel more connected with people online than we do with the people in our own life. So how can we engage others in our own life to have some little healthy competition, to engage, to create that sense of community, right? And number 7 is consequences. In games, you have consequences. You can fail without fear. Failure in games doesn't destroy you. You mess up, you try again. It's really no big deal. But in life, failure feels personal. It feels defeating. It feels soul destroying. And like it says something about us personally. So we completely avoid it or we spiral. But here's what I changed in my life. When I miss something or mess something up, I don't beat myself up. I use failure as feedback, just like in games, right? Maybe I might delay my reward or remove some points, but it's not emotional. It's just a part of the system. It trains me to take responsibility without a shame spiral. I understand that in games, if you want to level up, you need to learn what not to do in order to do it better the next time. So, how can you adopt that in your own life? Now, number 8 is choice. Build a game that you actually want to play. Games always give you options, even when the story is really linear. You get to choose your weapon, you get to pick your strategy, and that freedom is what makes it fun. With life can feel like a constant to-do list that you never even really signed up for. Am I right? So in life system, I built in choice. Every single category has different quests or I have different options and I pick the ones that feel good that day. So that freedom makes it way easier for me to stay consistent because I'm not forcing myself through something that feels like a chore. I get to choose, right? And as long as I click things off in different levels, I can go with the flow of my day. So how can you be a little bit more malleable with your schedule? And then number 9 is challenge. You gotta stay in the growth zone. Games are hard, but they're not too hard. They're designed to stretch you just enough to keep you hooked. Life, though, it's either too easy and boring or too hard and you burn out. So we stop. But challenge is actually what makes it fun and satisfying if you do it right. So I set boss level goals every few weeks, something that pushes me to level up and enough to grow, but it still feels winnable. That's why I chunk things down even to 90 days, like my Ascension arc below that you can join and get the system for free. Because when I do it for 90 days, I can set achievable goals, celebrate my success, and move on to the next one, right? So, how can you apply that principle in your own life as well? So, that's it. There's the 9 C's of gamification. I would love for you to apply some of these in your own life and come back and let us know in the comments if any of them work for you and what resonated. And if you want to take your life to the next level, if you want to gamify your life, if you want to get access to the free system that I created, just click the link below this video and you're going to get access to my entire system, the workbook, the gamification process, all of the different things that you can do to actually start applying this today. But remember, try to not take yourself so seriously. Try not to take things so personally. Remember that you're not and don't need to be the same character that you've always been. You can always choose to upgrade. You can always choose your new identity and you can always choose to gamify your life one step at a time. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love for you to comment below. If you resonate with this, I would love to have you join the Ascension Arc, the free 90-day process that will have you completely unrecognizable, not only to yourself, but to everyone around you in the next 90 days. And make sure to check out the Ascension Arc playlist where I get more into videos about how to activate your identity and how to activate your vision and how to actually activate actions that can help you gamify your life. And in the meantime, I hope you have a super duper Ashley Cooper day and YouTube thinks you should check this video out and we'll see you in the next one.